Hello YouTube, hello, and we're back again, of course, as always, as we always are. So today we're going to be talking about keep out moves, how to use them, what they actually are, and stuff like that. Also, disclaimer, I talked about the rock paper scissors of Tekken in one of my previous vids, how to improve in each rank, and in the blue rank section I actually mentioned keep out, mix-ups, and defense. And we're going to be talking about keep out now. If you guys want me to talk about mix-ups, let me know, but yeah. Today we're going to be talking about keep out and what is the keep out, right? The word does say it themselves, but the move is a keep out move, let's say, cause, right? If you want your opponent to not come close to you, you use what we call keep out, right? Technically speaking, you can use any move as a keep out, technically speaking. The moves that you do want to use though, they have to be like certain moves dedicated for some stuff that work better than others. A good example of that is someone like Gaz has an electric. Right, you just keep them out with electrics, backdash electric, something like this, electric, sidestep electric, and when you're backdashing and just moving around, in general, you want to keep them out with a move like this. An electric is a great example. If your character has an electric, you have to learn how to do it in your movement, which is a hard thing to do. For example, you have the backdash like this, right? You have to keep backdashing, it's just how it is. Tekken is always going to be a little bit easier if you backdash, even though the backdash in this game isn't the best, still. Backdash, electric. Right? Keep them out. You don't want them to come close to you sometimes. I have Asuka as an example, because Asuka can very easily just come close to you and down 1+2. Right? Just don't want this to happen. Usually I would advise you to, backdash like this, and this is good to do no matter what, but it won't work most of the time. Sometimes it will, because if you backdash cancel fast enough, you will be able to get away. This is why you do want to backdash cancel, but in this game it's way harder than it was in another game, so yeah, be careful about this kind of situation, but that's why you might want to use keep out instead. Like that time it didn't work because he timed it on 1+2, but keep them out if they want to dash in your face like that just to mix you out. Then do an electric, keep them out, and you will get a launch, right? That's why electric is good in this situation. You did an electric, you keep them out, you get a launch, and it's also safe if they block, obviously, right? A good player might expect this and duck in your face or just wait for it and launch you or punish you or whatever, right? But this is one of the purposes of keep out. You do not want to get mixed up. As I said, I already mentioned this when I discussed the rock paper scissors, but this is how you beat people who want to mix you up. You keep them away from you, because mix-ups usually are close range moves. Okay, this is just one example with Kazuya doing an electric, but keep out moves can be a lot of them. Like, there are a lot of keep out moves with a different kind of risks, different kind of rewards. Example, everyone has a keep out move in this game. Literally everyone. And the move of that keep out is a jab. So everyone has this kind of jab. Some might be better than others, but everyone has this. And this kind of jab will keep someone away from you while having minimal risk to you. Because if you just jab here, let's say you just jab, they can't really do anything about this, right? Sometimes they will be able to, punish you sometimes or high crush you and stuff like that, but usually a jab is one of the safest keep out you can do. One of the safest one. Jab, 1-2, or jab strings, G clefs, all of that. If your character has it, you can try to do it and it might work. Keep them out, let them stay away from you so you don't get mixed up to something like Asuka's down 1+2 example, right? But other characters also have mix-ups like this that are range dependent, obviously, right? But some characters are also mixing up from far away, so yeah, be careful. Basically, you have to be careful. Use keep out moves with precise timings. That's like the mark of a good player that's used to these moves and used to playing against certain characters and stuff like that. So yeah, as I already said, everyone has a jab. Now the second thing you can also use, which most other characters also have, is a generic down forward 2. This down forward 2 that Asuka has right there. This is also a keep out move. Also, these moves I am talking about aren't only keep out moves. They can be used in very different ways, but today we're just gonna be talking about keep out potential of these moves. So this move, down forward 2, is also a very good keep out move, because it moves Asuka forward a little bit. It also depends on your character, but all down forward 2s are great keep out moves. Moves them forward a little bit. If they try to dash in, let's say I do this as Asuka, down forward 2, and I want to mix him up with a hell sweep, right? I want a hell sweep, something like this, and I timed it a little bit late. Now I got kept out. I got down forward 2, right? I'm gonna try to mix him up with a forward 3. You see, I just got kept out, so I can't mix him up. That's the purpose of a keep out move. You don't want someone to wave dash or dash in your face and then mix you up. It doesn't matter what move they choose. Like I can even choose to do a down back forward here, right? And if the Asuka player times it correctly, I will get hit and I'll get launched. And the Asuka doesn't take much risk by doing this because generic down forward 2s, as everyone knows, they're safe. Asuka is also -6. So yeah, the frames are really good. They are really good. Works as a keep out really well, but it's not the only thing. These are more on the generic options that a lot of characters have, but a lot of characters also have unique options. Asuka has a unique back 3 or a can option as well. It's same with June. Example, that's a keep out move. It can be used in other ways as well, but it's also a keep out move. Can is also a keep out move. Also a countered move, but also a keep out move, right? It's a countered keep out move in a way. So yeah, these moves, you have to be using them if you want to not get mixed up, basically. And they usually take way too little risk for what they're supposed to. It depends, right? For example, a can takes way too little risk for what it does. Example, some down forward 2s are also the same. They take way too little risk for what it does, but this means that they're that good. So you should be using them. They are very good. Same as electrics. Electrics are also really good, so you should be using them. Of course, execution, and it's hard to do, but you should still be using them. And they'll be useful for you if you don't want to just defend 24/7, which in Tekken 8 I wouldn't really suggest. Just backdashing or sidestepping, I wouldn't really suggest doing that too much without using keep out buttons. Keep out buttons are very important in Tekken 8. And by very, I mean very important. You have to not let your opponent do what they want, so you have to keep them out so they actually start thinking a little bit about it and then dealing with it. Okay, now I mentioned most of the other stuff like generic jab, generic down forward 2, electrics or Mishimas, but there are some characters that don't really have a dedicated keep out button and it's a little bit awkward, right? For example, Dragunov doesn't really have that good of a keep out button outside of his jab, which I already said most characters will have a good jab. That's keep out. And the G clef, Dragunov also has that. But Dragunov players I've also seen use up forward 1, let's say as a keep out, or the jumping kick, I forgot the input, up forward 3+4 maybe. That's also, Ulsan uses that for example, as a keep out move. So you can find your own unique keep out option and use it yourself. You can just think of one yourself, and if you think that the keep out option is not good, then you can find something else. And yeah, if you play other characters, let's say King's down forward 2 is great. You can also jab, as I said, everyone can jab, and other options also exist. You can just find something and you'll be able to keep someone out via those moves. If you play some other character and you think, okay, I don't really have that good of a keep out, then usually jab is gonna be your go-to. Usually. Not everyone has amazing keep out. Some keep out characters are better than other keep out characters. Some keep out is bad, some other stuff is good, but that's what we call character variety, right? So that's why it's important. Now, I also want to demonstrate one more thing. I did say about, it's very important to keep someone out just so you don't get mixed up. And I just want to specify this, that it's actually one of the most important things in Tekken 8 right now. Right now, it's one of the most important things. Because as I said, if you are stuck in the close range, most characters, especially the strong characters in Tekken 8, will not let you out of that situation and you will not be able to stop guessing, basically. You have to just keep guessing forever. More or less you're forever guessing unless you choose to take risks, which you kind of don't want to. That's why when you play neutral, I want you to just focus on this. You have to use keep out. It's very important, especially when you're ranking up from, let's say, blue ranks to higher. Keep out buttons are one of the most important things that you can do. One of the most important ones. And the next thing I also want you to talk about is you have to pay attention to your opponent's keep out buttons, and you have to know your opponent's keep out buttons. Let's say if you play against Gaz, you have to expect that they're gonna use electrics to keep you out. If you play against someone like Asuka, you have to expect to maybe down forward 2, maybe can, maybe back 3 will maybe keep you out, which is hard, right? Asuka is an exceptional keep out character. Also an exceptional everything character, but exceptional keep out character, because if you expect one of them, that doesn't really help because they can use those like 2 other stuff, maybe 10 other stuff, I don't know, I just mentioned the 3. So yeah, this is important because you have to think about your opponent's keep out And you also have to think about your opponent, thinking about your own keep out. So this is what we call a little bit neutral mind games. When actually Tekken is being played in the neutral, you have to think about each other's keep out moves, wait for it, and punish it. But if you think about your opponent as well, now you're afraid to do keep out moves. This is a neutral keep out mind game. This is what we call it anyway. Hopefully I explained it not too complicated. Hopefully. I know I have a habit of complicating things too much, but yeah, hopefully that wasn't too complicated. Anyway, that was it for today. Hopefully it was helpful. As I said, use keep out moves a lot. Electrics, not that. That was not a keep out move, by the way. The keep out move is backdash electric. Or when you're just standing there in the neutral, you know, playing movement game, electric. These are keep out moves. You can use that for twos, as I said. You can use other moves, depending on your character. Some have a unique, some have a generic, like jabs. Whatever. So, yeah. Use them. Utilize them. Because you do not want Asuka in your face, you don't want Steve in your face, you do not want Huarang in your face, you don't want the Law in your face, you don't want anyone in your face, mostly in Tekken 8. So, yeah. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully, as always. And, yeah. I'll see everyone next one. Till then.